Hello. I wanted to talk about comic book convention prices, and a lot of it is are the prices out of hand because of they got C2E2 going on this weekend, and they want $71 and change to get in on Friday, $87 and change to get in on Saturday, and then $82 and change to get in on Sunday, and that's just for adults. Kids are a little cheaper, but it's like it's you're gonna blow $100 with parking included. It's at the McCormick Place, and $100 before you even hit the door. When most whatever you want to grab, you could get on eBay or online without having to put up with crowds and all that. And I get it. I mean, I like going to cons and just walking around and looking at stuff. And it's like, you're going somewhere, it's a treat. But at those kind of prices, it's crazy. And then if you include for C2E2, the celebrity guest list it's pretty poor in my opinion. I went through it the other night and I was like, the artists, the only guys I would really go to see was like Cully Hamner. He was he was in the Gaijin Studios co-op for a couple of years, and he did comics, and he did the adaptations that they turned into that movie Red with Bruce Willis. There's two parts to that. He was that's a co-creator thing. What do they call it? Creator owned. But I looked at the list and I'm like, this is like the only guy that I would go see. A creator, and all these other ones I've seen before or I have no interest in. And then the celebrities, it was very, very bad. It was, I mean, they got Charlie Cox and Elizabeth Olsen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe are down there signing autographs. But the other thing is when you go to these cons and they have these celebrities, they want like $100 on the low end for photos and autographs and everything. And I'm like, man, I can't justify that when it gets over $20. It's real hard because it used to be $20. $20 used to be able to get Mark Hamill's autograph after Star Wars. Nobody wanted him. And then now that they revived Star Wars, he's asking like $700 for autographs and pictures and all that. And yeah, the guy's in his 70s, so his time on this planet is limited. But the prices are crazy, and those prices got out of hand when The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad were getting hot on TV, and their stars started going to these cons, and they're the ones that started these prices. And they seen they could get away with it, so then all of these shows, movies, guys, they think that their stock went up like 900%. They just started charging crazy amounts of money, and I'm like, man, I can't justify this. And I understand that there's certain people they love and stuff, and I'll go see this guy no matter what. But I mean, it was really, really bad. I'm like, that the prices are just too crazy. So what do you guys think? Are the convention prices out of hand? And for my birthday 2 weeks ago, we went to MightyCon in DuPage County. Just a local Comic Con. They run Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think they do one in Iowa too. Um, but they bring in guests and everything, and they had the Thousand Pound Sisters from the TLC show, and I've never watched it. I never even heard of it until I went to that con, and it was like 300 people there, and we pull up, and Barbara was like, "What is going on? You didn't tell me it was going to be this packed." And I says, "It never is. I've never seen a line like this, And we parked and we walked in, and we walked up to these people in line and said, 'This for the Comic Con to get in?' They're like, 'Yes.' And I'm like, I've never seen this. And we waited around for about 10 minutes, and it was outside and it was starting to snow. It was getting cold. So she was like, look, let's go to the restaurant and have our lunch because it was my birthday. It was on my birthday too. She's like, let's go have your birthday lunch and we'll waste some time over there and then we'll come back and she's like, you need about an hour to get through this, right? And I said, yeah, to look at the books and everything. And I wasn't getting anything signed. The only celebrities that they had there were like 3 or 4 of the Power Rangers. The people that played the Power Rangers. They had this one Hunter Dino. She's a smoking hot young girl. Like she's like 30 years old. And that was it. And the other 2, I didn't know who they were. And I never watched the Power Rangers. I just seen her. I'm like, wow, she's gorgeous. But nothing, And I'm like, I got no interest in Power Rangers. And I looked her up, and the only other thing that she ever did was from the movie Impractical Jokers, which I saw that at the movie theater. And that wasn't that good. And I had a part in that. So guess what? Impractical Jokers is a work. It's not reality TV. They got scripted stuff going on. But anyway, excuse me. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. I was just kind of stunned that, like, who are these people for? And then when we were in the con, the main guy that I buy comics from, this comic book dealer, him and the wife, they go to these shows for years. And I says, what's this line for? And they pointed to the corner. And they said it's for the 1,000-pound sisters and their surgeon that took and removed the extra skin when they got skinny. And she said that, excuse me, like I said, I'm getting over a cold. She said that, that they had 500 people in the building when this place opened at 10 o'clock in the morning. And somebody called the fire marshal, and he showed up, and he's like, oh, no. Everybody's outside or I'll shut this show down right now. So they had these people were snaked around the building inside, and they made everybody wait out in the cold. And at 10 o'clock in the morning, there was 500 people. And when we got there at 1 o'clock, there had to be 300 in line. So you're talking at least 800 to 1,000 people probably, and that may be on the low end, showed up. They had to pay $10 to get in, and then they had to pay whatever prices they wanted. And those prices were comparable to, like I said, with the Wizard World and the C2E2 and Reed Pop and all that, and their prices, the convention prices, upwards of $60, $70, $80 for autographs and stuff signed and pictures and stuff. And I was just like, nah, I never knew who these people are. I never watched the show. And well, obviously there's people out there that do, and they paid and whatever. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want, but it's like, when are these prices out of hand? I mean, they did that at this local con, and the one thing about Mighty Con I noticed is their prices have been creeping up with the celebrities, where everybody they bring in wants a minimum of like $40 to autograph something. They had this guy, from Bad Santa, the little elf, and he was in Return of the Jedi as one of the Ewoks, and I wanted, his name's Tony something. I wanted, if it was just for Star Wars, I would have liked to got a picture of him as the Ewok and had him sign it. But when I seen that $40, I'm like, no, that ain't worth it. No. And I remember years ago, I got General Reekin from Star Wars, and he was like $20. And that was pricey then. And I got his autograph with a picture and everything. Now it's like double that. No, it ain't worth it to me. But what's the kill point for you guys with the comic shows where they have celebrities and all that? Would you pay $70 to $80 or $70 to $90 just to get in for one day? Or would you say, nah, that ain't worth the money? I'm just curious, and then mostly on Sundays too, these guys are packing up and they're in a rush to get home. So a lot of times you go on a Sunday, it's not even worth it because half these guys aren't there or they want to take off. And then Saturday's always the busiest day of the week for a comic show. It's always busy, packed and everything. So what's the kill point? I want to know if you guys have any opinions on that. And I mean, there is no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you want to do. It's a free country. When I see those prices, I'm like, man, I can't really justify it. And you bring it up to my mom and father. If they were still alive, they would jump up and down, scream, no, 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 no. That's a ripoff. And I get it, but I'm a fan. So there's a little bit more of a lax thing there. But yeah, I get it. I get the pricing is crazy. Everybody have a good day.